Welcome again to Joe's Test Studio. Today I'm going to show you how to use masking fluid. Most of you probably have already used it, but there's some little things that I think might help you even if you have used it, and I hope so. So we're getting ready and we're going to do masking fluid. I've drawn this a little heavy with a marker so that you can see it, and we're going to use Cheap Joe's masking fluid first, and Cheap Joe's masking fluid comes with a little brush in it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So you don't have to put your good brushes in masking fluid. And what you want to do is be sure your paper is dry. Never put masking fluid on wet paper. You will ruin the paper. You'll never get that masking fluid off of there. But carefully, you put the masking fluid where you want the white to be after you've painted. So we're using this to protect our white paper, to keep it white while we paint without having to meticulously paint around it. And it's a great way to do that. And you just put it down there like that. Probably not too accurate, but I've already done one, and we're going to show you that one in just a second because it has to dry. This second one is PBO, and PBO is a masking fluid made by PBO that has color in it. What you want to do here, there's no brush, so you want to take an old brush. This is a nylon ugly brush, which are perfect for the masking fluid, and very carefully wet your brush first, and then just start applying the masking fluid over the area that you want to keep white. And it's a little easier to see when you're applying it than the Cheap Joe's, and they both dry though with a color on them so you can see them. And we have a couple of drops in there, and we could imagine that we want something over here that we want to keep white. Whatever it is you want to keep white, you put the masking fluid on that area. It must dry completely before you start painting it. So we're going to let this dry and then come back and finish it. Now, I have already prepared this one and in the essence of time, and it's dry. So you want to be sure the masking fluid is perfectly dry. And now quickly, I'm just going to put some color over the whole thing so that you get the idea. Not trying to keep anything particularly in mind, but I want you to see how it's done. So I've activated some color already, and we'll just come in here and without much ado, add some color. You see I'm going right over the masking fluid, and that's the reason for it, is I don't have to worry here. And this is going to be so quick, just like that. And we're going to add a little darker color right down in here. And that masking fluid right there. So now we'll come back in here with some heavier stuff, just simply so you'll be able to see what we've done with the masking fluid. And all this is going to be wet and wet, which might end up being kind of interesting, mightn't it? I love painting wet and wet. It's so much fun because you really never know quite what you're going to get. Now, this looks like a total mess, doesn't it? But we're going to let that dry now, and then we're going to come back to it and remove the masking fluid. Be right back. Don't go away. Okay, now we have dried this little piece where we have the masking fluid, and you can see where the masking fluid is. And now I'm going to take a rubber cement remover. This little gadget's El Cheapo, but it really works well. And you just take the corner and you start doing it just like that, and you can see the rubber cement coming off. And then you can take it off of there. Look there. Now we've got a little white house in an otherwise dark area. We'll come up here and take this one off. I don't want to get my hand in the way so you can't see. You can also use a nice eraser for this, but you have to be careful which eraser you use or you'll leave color on the paper with an eraser. And you don't want to do that. And there's some little areas that I missed, and they're going to add a nice little accent. And now we'll take the brush and add a little bit of light, give a light direction coming in here to this, and that would be all we'd need to do to say these little buildings like that. Maybe we have a little window in that one, and perhaps we put a little bitty chimney on it up here. And I'm kind of right-handed, and it's hard to get in here to do this so that you can see it, but hopefully you get the idea of what we've done in here. And that's got to have some more little things put in it. We'll put a little bit of blue in that right there, and a little in that. And the first thing you know, we have a little And this is not a finished painting by any means, but shows you how to do the rubber cement. Dry paper, wet brush, let it dry completely, do your painting, let that dry completely, then remove the rubber cement. That's all there is to it.